So this is in lieu of our weekly coaching call or one-on-one calls for everybody. So I figured, why not just open it up to the offices? I mean, there's no reason not to. So with that said, calls being recorded. So let's get started. We still have some people jumping in. So today's theme I want to talk about, and this will kind of coincides with the productive aging program. So we're getting into the time of year now. I mean, today's the day before Thanksgiving. I mean, people are busy. It's cold out. I mean, if we had snow on the ground, you would be singing Christmas songs, right? So anyway, so with that said, we're at the time of year where you're going to talk to people and they're going to say, well, I'm going to wait after the holidays, and after the holidays. Very, very important that you do not go to sleep. Okay, very, very important. You hear me say it over and over and over and over and over all the time. I say it. But it's very critical that you continue to do your job. I mean, it's okay to take time off. I mean, if your schedule is that you're off Thursday and Friday, well, then so be it. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. If you plan to go away during the holidays, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But the days that you're not scheduled off and the days if you're not going out of town, you need to be doing some form of activity so you don't fall out of any kind of momentum. Remember, everything you do now has 30-day or 30, 60, 90-day cycles to it. So and you hear me say this over and over and over, but you got to hear it over and over because it's just the environment will put you to sleep. I mean, the environment will convince you that nobody's selling houses. And we all know that that's not true. There are plenty of transactions that happen late November and all throughout December. So anyway, so it's very important to not go to sleep. But all your energy you're doing now is mostly going to be your first quarter next year. And, first quarter is an awesome quarter because you got to pay your taxes, right? I mean, if you don't pay your taxes, guys with blue jackets and yellow letters with rifles show up and just start carrying your stuff out. But if you want to have a great year, it starts right now. Whatever it is, whatever your plan, whatever your goal is, it starts right now. So it's very, very important to keep focused on that. But also, so now let's think about that though. So where are we at? We're in the holidays, right? So are people, a lot of people won't move during the holidays. It really is that simple. I get that. However, it's also a great opportunity to just call people and just say, hey, look, haven't talked to you in a while. Just, it's a holiday season. I figured I'd just call and say hi, see how it's going. You guys going anywhere for the holidays? You're sticking around? You do whatever it is, right? I mean, what a great, great reason just to simply call people. I mean, it's awesome. So, so don't miss that opportunity. It's just a great opportunity. So, there's not much more to it than that. I mean, you got to keep your activities going. But I do realize there's time off. Like to me, I have an appointment today at 10:30, and I'm pretty much taking off until Monday. I'm going to answer calls. I mean, if you're stuck in a file, please call me. If it's a what do you call it? Procedural type of thing. If you're trying to chase down a commission check, call Rick. If you got a file process or whatever, I mean, you got a procedural process. You claim me for that. I'm just gonna try and lay low for a few days here and just re-energize myself. I've been quite busy and doing a lot of things, and so I'm just like, okay, I'm taking a couple days. So I don't do it often, but here it is. So anyway, I was going to go out of town, but I'm probably going to do something in January, and maybe I'm thinking I might go to Ireland in the spring. I'm going to treat myself to go to Ireland. So. But I mean, those are my right now. It's just if you need a couple days, great. Just go rejuvenate or whatever it is. Charge batteries, whatever you want to use, and go do it. But remember, the days you are working, please work. Even if you only do. I remember when I was an agent, and I used to get up every day early in the morning. I'd go work out. I'd go to the office. I would actually eat breakfast at the office. And even the days I didn't want to work at all, I still drug my butt out of bed, went to the office, and I would make calls for 20 minutes if I had to. And then I would go back home, and then I would get undressed and go to bed or something like that. But the point is Never get out of the habit of doing something. So even the worst days, I still got dressed, went to the office, and made a few phone calls. And the reason for that is the habit of making calls takes a long time, but the habit of getting out of making calls, it's about 5 minutes. So never get into that. Never start that habit of not doing your job. I mean, it will come back and bite you big time. So please, for your own sake, don't do it. Don't fall into the trap. It's too easy to do it this time of year. So this is the call to say, hey, just be cognizant of people saying, yeah, well, nobody's moving during the holidays. I mean, sometimes you start to think, but here's where the opportunity lies, right? I would say that more than half of the real estate agents are going to sleep. Today's the last day they may do anything, but they're just going to go to sleep when it comes to new business. Now, they may sit around and, they're going to close anything they got pending. Of course they will, right? But they're not going to generate any new business from today until maybe mid-January, right? So now here's the cool part, and I mean more than half, but the volume doesn't decrease by more than half. In other words, volume may be around 25%, 30% max. But the agents that are not working are going to be about 60 to 75% of the agents are not going to be working. If you do any kind of energy between now and the middle of January, the opportunities are abound. There's so much opportunity available to you that would not be otherwise available to you. So you get that? I mean, it's huge to think about that because the market doesn't fall off in proportion to the agents that fall off. So take advantage of this opportunity. I'm not saying you got to go put in a 10-hour day every day. I mean, I get it. It's the holidays. I get it. But the holidays are, we still have, I don't know, where are we at today? The 22nd, 21st? I mean, we still have 9 days, 31. We have 40 days we have 40 days left in the year. I mean, so we can't not work for 40 days, right? We still have to work. So think about that and take advantage of the opportunity, right, that exists out there. People, agents are going to sleep, and their clients are now available to be adopted by you. They're being orphaned by them, and you can go along and adopt them very, very easily. Right? So anybody have any thoughts, questions, concerns? Anybody want to add anything to working through the holidays? Anybody want to add something to that? Nobody, huh? Anybody there? I mean, has everybody got me on mute, walked away from your computer?
If anyone wants 2 5-year-olds, they're up for adoption this week.
Oh, yeah, you got 2 5-year-olds.
And they don't have school for 5 days, so it's going to be...
Yeah, no, and I get that. I mean, we get that. I mean, that's certainly a challenge. I mean, but the thing is, I mean, if you know that, just manage whatever you have to manage and then enjoy the opportunity to have fun with your 2 5-year-olds. I mean, go be a turkey with them. I mean, do whatever, go have fun. So, I mean, and then when they go back to school, then nose to the grindstone. I mean, that's just, I understand that, we have a plan and then life gets in the way. I mean, I get that. I mean, I'm not saying discount out those kind of situations. So, but overall, in general, we still have 4 days left in a year. So, I mean, I think you should be working at least 20 of them, right? I mean, if not, well, I mean, what do you do? And then I hope you have enough money to carry you through the first quarter. And then, then the first 2 weeks of the second quarter, taxes are due. Oh, and your corporate taxes are actually, or corporate returns are actually due March 15th. So anyway, so just thoughts on that. Anybody else have any thoughts about, doing deals through the holiday? I know Scotty one time. Scott, you remember years ago when we worked together on the team, and then you had a buyer, and it was, I think it was the day before Christmas Eve maybe or something like that. And this listing came out on the MLS. I mean, it was priced to fly, and they were offering a 3.5% BAC, and it matched his buyer's needs. I'm like, this is your deal. And it was, and we saw it because I paid attention. Hot sheets weren't as prevalent as they were today. I mean, they were there, but not like today. But I just happened to pull that up. And I'm like, go show this to your buyer. I mean, they drove down there and wrote it up right on the spot, man. And then, so think about it. If somebody hits the MLS on December 23rd, I mean, do you think they're motivated? Oh, actually, I remember it was December 26th, the day after Christmas. That's right, exactly right. The day after Christmas. I mean, they celebrated Christmas and December 26th, our house hit the market. But agents were asleep, and we were in the office working. I mean, was able to put a deal together that day. So those opportunities are around, and that's the other thing. I mean, double check your MLS. I mean, double check the MLS 2, 3 times a day if you're running, because you can do save searches or whatever, and then create a search, save it, and then go back and hit run since last time, or whatever. Just rerun them all the time and see if anything new came out. And then, because it's the time of year, especially if you're working with an investor. But if you got any buyers, you're struggling finding something, I'm here to tell you, keep an eye on the MLS on a routine basis, because you will have not near the competition. If you run down there and make a good solid offer, they'll just go with you. I mean, you get a good loan letter, your loan letters in place, but make sure your buyer has submitted tax returns, everything, met with the lender and all that kind of stuff. That way, when you submit a letter in a page, you can just say, look, we're so qualified that we're ready to go. All we got to do is get our inspection appraisal and the title report, and we can close this puppy. I mean, they might not even wait for other offers. I mean, just take yours and run. So, I would encourage, so if you have buyers that you're struggling to find something with, just make sure you're double checking the MLS multiple times a day. And then you'll be surprised at what kind of deals you can put together. If you're in the market for buying rental properties, great opportunities exist from now to the end of the year. Even the first of the year, people list their house on January 2nd. I mean, you got to believe they're motivated, right? So, any other thoughts or questions about this? Any ideas? Nothing, huh? Okay. So that's okay. I mean, I lay out a lot, so I don't, always expect new stuff. but it's nice to hear if you got some new stuff going on. But anyway, but again, take advantage of the holidays. Just have like cookies or cards. Go visit people, say hi, call them up, whatever. It's just a great opportunity to talk to people without having to, call and say, hey, I want business, right? But just call and say hi, and just remind them, hey, don't forget, I'm in real estate. If you know of anybody can, buy and sell or invest in, please refer me. And you always want to train them to call you with their information, right? It's great that they give out your information. However, if you want to really catch them, you got to get them to call you with their information so you can contact them. That's the best way to do it. So anyway, any other thoughts on that? Prospecting through the holidays? What if a person says, is this a good time to buy? And the answer is yes, because anybody on the market at this time of year is motivated, right? Is this a good time to sell? So yes, you have less competition as a seller to sell. I mean, if you wait till the springtime and then you get all the perennials show up or, whatever, and then you have a lot more competition. Yeah, there's more buyers in the spring, but there's also a lot more sellers. So this time of year, you have very little competition. So if somebody needs to sell, then just go get the property listed. Don't talk them out of it. Say, well, you're better off waiting until next year, because I don't believe they are better off waiting until next year. I believe that right now, if you're priced well, you might even get multiple offers and bid it up to, a reasonable price that would be a non-winter price. So think about that, and that's if somebody comes along and says they need to sell. I mean, it happens. I mean, go in the MLS every day. There's properties in the MLS, so we're obviously listing their houses, right? So that's all I really got on that, boys and girls. I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. I hope everything's fun. Me, I'm a casual guy on Thanksgiving. My daughter, she'll be doing something with her, significant other, and it's just me and he's actually working tomorrow. He works at Smith's, so he's got to work a few hours. So people, I know Robert Draper used to always worry about me being alone on Thanksgiving. I'm like, dude, you have no idea. That's the only day of the year the phone don't ring. I'm like, I'm excited. Are you kidding me? I love Thanksgiving. I lay on the couch. I watch football, So I fall asleep until the second game, wake up at the beginning of the third game, So it's awesome. So anyway, that's all I have for you guys. If you don't have any questions, we'll go ahead and end the call. And I hope everything is awesome for you guys today and tomorrow, and of course the rest of the year. But in the meantime, if you do have questions, Like I said, if it's a commission question, call Rick. If it's a procedural question, call Amy. If it's a broker transactional type question, call me. And that's it. So you guys have a wonderful day. And again, if you need me, reach out. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Rob.
Thanks, Rob.
See ya.
Thanks,
Happy
Rob.
Thanksgiving.